It's not easy to become a content creator, to start producing your own video channel or audio episodes via a podcast or a radio show, but I promise you it's worth it. And it gets easier over time. You start thinking, wow, why did I make this such a big deal? It actually is kind of fun. I was prepared to do this kind of thing from my earliest dreams as a kid because I would do shows for my parents. Did you ever do that where you would pretend you had a microphone and you'd be introducing, I would act like I was like a circus ringmaster or the MC or some kind of narrator or a broadcaster. I would often act that way when I would put on shows for my parents. And then when I was in high school, I decided I was meant to be a broadcast journalist. So I even wrote when they asked me, what I wanted to be when I grew up, in my senior yearbook, it says that I wanted to be the next Diane Sawyer on Primetime Live. That's what I wanted to be. Now, at the time, when I graduated from high school in 1992, there was no internet. And so the only way that you could be a broadcaster was to be the next Diane Sawyer on Primetime Live. Well, the chances of me doing that was slim, of course. And I wouldn't have actually enjoyed it. But God was planting a seed and my desires reflected what was possible in the future. So I want you to think about and listen to your desires. When God promises to give us the desires of our heart, I think there's a twist on that verse. It's not just like we have these desires that are our own and he's going to give those things to us. I think that verse is saying he gives us the desires in the first place. It's not the answer to the desires that he gives us. He gives us the desires. So my desire to be some kind of broadcaster, that was a desire that he had given me. I just didn't even know what it would look like in 1992. When I thought the only possibility was to be, on the nightly news. I had no idea what he was about to make possible, that any of us could have our own channel with simple equipment and simple steps. We can have a weekly show. You are not restricted by any kind of broadcast schedule. You don't have to be hired by a TV station or by a radio station these days. You can create your very own content in your very own way. And that's what I'm doing now. And if you're thinking, okay, well, I've always had that desire, I just don't know where to start. Listen, just start. And life will go on while you're doing it. I just want to tell you that right now, like right outside my door, I am watching a UPS truck drive up and they're delivering a package. I think I know what it is that I ordered. And here it comes. He may ring the doorbell. I don't think so. Oh, he threw the box down. I heard that. I'm including this to show you, you know what? I'm not in a perfect studio and I'm still creating content. I am in a normal neighborhood. I am looking out this isn't a fancy soundproof place. It's just an office, like a regular room. I'm looking out my window and I can see life going on. If somebody were coming to mow the lawn, you would probably hear that. If somebody were driving by, if the trash truck were driving by, you might hear that too, because that's pretty loud. Don't think that you have to have a perfect recording environment. Just start recording. So in this series, what I wish I could tell myself now that I'm 10 years into content creation, and I recorded these early videos where I was just trying to have biblical encouragement for people. And I uploaded these videos on a platform called Vimeo, which at the time was not the best for the outcome that I wanted. That's a platform that's great for a portfolio for video editors and creators. What I wanted was the general public to get encouragement. And I was afraid at the same time. So I didn't go to the platform that would have actually created the outcome I wanted, which was YouTube. But here I am today. God built up my confidence as he continued to pour into the desires of my heart. So I want to take a look at one of my past videos with you, let you hear my critique and my coaching for myself, what I wish I could have told myself 10 years ago, and you apply it to yourself. You apply it to where you are today. This week in the One Year Bible, we read from 1 Kings 17. And we see where the Lord has told Elijah to go to a certain town, and he will find a widow there who would feed him, and he should wait there for more instructions from God. Well, Elijah goes to the town, and he finds the widow. She's outside picking up some sticks, and he asks her for a bite of bread. And this is her answer in 1 Kings 17:12. But she said, I swear by the Lord your God that I don't have a single piece of bread in the house, and I have only a handful of flour left in the jar and a little cooking oil in the bottom of the jug. I was just gathering a few sticks to cook this last meal, and then my son and I will die. What she didn't know was when she did finally cook the bread and bake the bread for Elijah and for her son, the oil replenished. The flour replenished. And every time she went back to make more bread for them, she had everything she needed every time. And it was a continual supply. For many days, she was able to bake bread for her family and for the prophet. And I think that we can get some incredible truth. We could apply some incredible truth from this one little verse. Number one, use what you have. You don't have to wait until later when you think you have enough, when you think you have more to accomplish what God has given you to do. Use what you have, even if it's only a little, even if it's less than you think will be possible. God will get the glory from doing something miraculous with what little you have to provide, to accomplish whatever He's asked you to do. Secondly, it's not over until God says it's over. This widow thought she was about to bake her last meal. She had no idea. She had many days of a task left to do. She had a story that was going to continue and be recorded in the Word for generations to come, to read and gain encouragement from. Her greatest task had yet to be accomplished, but she thought she had already seen her last day. Many times we think, A, we think we don't have enough. B, we think it's already over. We think we're way past our prime, way past any chance we have of doing something important for the Lord. Well, you know, I could apply this to my own life because when I felt God pressing my heart to start making these videos to teach from the Bible, my first answer was, but I only have a little bit of time, but I don't have very many resources, but I had all kinds of excuses about how little I had to work with. I thought, Lord, I don't even have an assistant. How can I do this by myself? And I felt Him saying, use what you have now and watch me do something miraculous. So I looked around and I realized I did have an assistant. Do you know who I had living right across the street? My 8-year-old niece. So I have an 8-year-old little girl who's never worked a camera before, who works. You want to come wave? You want to come wave for the camera real fast? Yeah, your hands. There you go. She's never worked a digital camera before, and she is doing a fabulous job. She frames my face. She tells me when my hair is out of place. She fixes my makeup. She does all kinds of things, and she's learning from this experience. And I get the pleasure of having somebody behind the camera going and cheering me on. I could never have guessed that she would be such a perfect match for this project. But God knew that if I used what little I already had, it would be more than enough. It would be more than I even dared to dream. So whatever you have going on in your life, you may feel like you have only a little and that it's not enough. But watch God do something miraculous to help you accomplish the task He's given you to do. And don't say it's over until He says it's over. Keep your head in the Word. Keep your eye on the Lord. Okay, you didn't say go.
Oh, I need to move this down too. It's actually just gonna go to like right the dark blue line. No, it's like the green line because if I made it down to that, it cut off half your head.
Okay, well you just do what you think looks good.
Okay, good, because I need to move this up a little.
Okay, good.
Because you like moving your head up and down. I was like, Nika, it was fine when you had your head down.
Because a mirror. Wait, let me start over.
Nika, you were like in the middle.
Hey, And first, put that down. Be still, please. Be real still. Okay. This week in the One Year Bible, we read in First. Wow, watching that video was a treasure. To hear the sound of my niece's voice. She's 18 now. Back then she was 8, and to think that she's graduated from high school, we couldn't have known what she would be doing 10 years from now and the skills she would develop. We couldn't have known what I would be doing now. We just both just tried. And to be honest, she didn't continue helping me. That was a one-time thing. It just never worked out for her to continue helping me. And plus, I ended up pausing on creating videos anyway. But the takeaway from that video for you is that you don't have to have some big major setup. If you can get your kids to help you create content, they can do a good job of it. They probably know more about tech than you do. Even hire a kid on your street or from church. And I want to just say fantastic points in the content today. Again, great sound, great video. I'm telling myself in the past, you're getting better with more practice. The graphics are improving. You had more scripture on the screen. Wonderful job. And you were transparent about the excuses you were making about not having enough time and not having enough resources. Those are the same 2 excuses that I hear so many people make. I don't have enough time to write my book or to have a media channel. I don't have enough resources to write my book or have a media channel. You got to make room for God, people. You got to make room for God. You got to let him help you use the time you have. You got to let him help you use the resources you have. It's phenomenal the number of people who come to me and hire me as a coach who think at the beginning they don't have any time or resources to work with a coach to get their book out. But a coach helps you do it all faster. So if you want real help, I'm here for you. And if you're still on the stage where you're like, I want to go slow, I'm going to watch some YouTube videos, that's okay too. It is definitely slower to create your own curriculum by watching free YouTube videos. These should be used for inspiration and encouragement, not for instruction. The instruction that you need will always come from engaging and working with somebody. But I've got the perfect entry point for you. It's the Bless Your Book Challenge. You hear me talk about it all the time. The Bless Your Book Challenge. For a small investment of time and resources, you get a huge payoff because you're confused right now. You're confused. You're frustrated. You don't know where to start your book. And at the end of the Bless Your Book Challenge, you will have clarity. You will know what to do next. And you will feel like the Lord has set you free because we're going to break some spiritual strongholds in your life. It's not just instruction. It is also supernatural help that the Lord is going to walk you through as you navigate the Bless Your Book Challenge. It's a challenge. You will be challenged. That's what you need. So join at the link below or at the link in the description. You can't join soon enough. Don't put it off unless you actually want to wait and let more time pass. The whole point of me critiquing these videos from 10 years ago is so that you can see what 10 years looks like. It looks different on my face. Okay, the 10 years looks different on my face. The 10 years sounds different in my voice. And I'll tell you what, I had 10 more years of struggle. And that, when I look back, I'm like, I would have loved to have gotten to this point faster. Let me help you accelerate your progress so that you aren't looking at videos one day where you stopped because you didn't have someone telling you the next step. I stopped making these videos. We're very soon going to come to the end of it. I stopped making these videos because I didn't have somebody telling me, you must do this. Put together another video and another one and another one. I will walk hand in hand with you to create this content and help you to do what you're saying, because you're saying keep going. And you mean that about the Bible, but keep going with creating content as well. You can't generate that kind of drive on your own. And stop expecting that of yourself. Get in the right rooms. start getting into a room where somebody will bless you as you bless your book. That's the next step, and it's the right step. It's your best step so that you can become an author faster and better. Join the Bless Your Book Challenge today.